Hello and welcome to a yoga session number 20 on the roster for TCC's yoga class. My name is Eli Khan. Thank you for taking the time to join me today. We will begin in our standing mountain pose, practicing our breath pattern. Palms are facing forward, shoulders are melting away from our ears. We can have our eyes opened or closed as we focus on our breath. We're attempting to breathe in and out through our nose at all times. Let's begin to unite breath with movement. Maybe open your eyes, maybe not. Breathe in, we lengthen our arms up and overhead. Breathe out, drop one arm down, laterally flex to the side. Breathe in, both arms reach up and overhead. Breathe out as we switch over to the other side. One breath, one movement, body and mind working together. Breath and movement matching. The next time we breathe in, let's keep both arms elevated up and overhead. Breathe out, chair pose. Breathe in, lengthen back up, extended mountain. Breathe out as we sink into our chair. One breath, one movement, body and mind working together. Breath and movement matching. Let's breathe in, lengthen our arms up and overhead. Breathing out to release hands and energy to our heart center. Finding ourselves stepping our legs out wide into our wide sunflower stance. Breathe in, we lengthen arms up and overhead. Breathe out, fold those knees into a squat, gathering our imaginary sunflowers. You can eliminate the arm choreography if you'd like. Just options as opposed to obligations. Reminding ourselves anytime we'd like to take a break, it's okay to rest in down dog or in child's pose. We listen to our bodies, we breathe, and we feel. We're letting go of our competitive spirit. We're letting go of judging others. Finding ourselves in this present breath, in this present moment. Then on the next inhalation, keeping our arms up and overhead, releasing hands and energy to our heart center. We're placing our hands to our thighs, returning to a gentle squat position, standing cat-cow. Breathe out, we round and drop our head. Breathe in, we arch and send our eye gaze towards the sky. Breathing out, we round, eye gaze towards the belly. Breathe in, open up through the chest and the heart center, cat or cow. Breathe out, we round into our cat. Breathe in as we arch into our cow. And let's find ourselves, bringing ourselves to our standing upright position. Turning our left toes towards the front of our mat. Pressing our right heel slightly towards the back of our mat. Warrior two arms. Breathe out, we fold through our right knee joint. Breathe in as we straighten. Maybe sending our eye gaze over to our right fingers. Breathing in through the nose blowing out through the mouth, through our pursed lips. Let's stay in our warrior two. Reverse warrior, breathe in. Breathe out to our extended ankle. Breathing in to our reverse warrior spirit. Breathing out to our extended ankle. One breath, one movement. Body and mind continuing to work together. Breath and movement matching. Let's return to our warrior two arms. Release our hands down. We can straighten through that right knee joint, adjusting our feet. For activated warrior on the other side, left toes face the backs of our mats, pressing our right heel towards the front of our mat. Breathing out, folding into our left knee joint. Breathe in as we straighten. Maybe eye gaze over towards our left fingers. And breathing. Holding in our warrior two. Breathe in, reverse warrior. Breathe out, extended ankle. Breathing into our reverse warrior. Breathing out into our extended ankle. One breath, one movement. Body and mind continuing to work together. Breath and movement matching. Let's return to our warrior two arms. Adjusting our feet to our sunflower feet, resting our arms back down. Five-pointed star moon god. Breathing into our five-pointed star. Breathing out as we sink into our moon god. One breath, one movement. Body and mind working together. Breath and movement matching. On our next five-pointed star, holding in our five-pointed star, we release hands and energy to our heart center. We step forward towards the front of our mats. Standing mountain pose, palms are facing forward, shoulders are relaxed away from our ears. Sun salutations. We breathe in, lengthen our arms up and overhead. Breathe out, we swan dive, hinging from our hips into our forward fold. Breathe in, we're looking forward, monkey pose. Breathe out, let's step our right foot back, kneeling warrior or crescent lunge, you decide. Mindful of left knee placement for knee safety. Breathe in, heart center sky, arms or no arms. Breathe out, release our hands as we step back, down dog or child's pose extended. Let's breathe into our plank or our modified plank, chest over hands. Breathe out, we lower down, chaturanga. Breathe in, drop the hips, roll upward facing dog. Breathe out, back to down dog or child's pose extended. We step our right foot forward. Left knee to the mat or not, you decide. Breathing and lengthening heart center step. Breathe out, release our hands as we step forward, forward fold. Breathe in as we reverse our swan. Breathing out, chair pose. Breathe in, lengthen back up, extended mountain. Breathe out, swan diving forward, forward fold. Breathe in, we're looking forward, monkey pose. Breathe out, we step our left foot back, kneeling warrior, or crescent lunge. Breathing in, lengthening heart center sky. Breathe out, release our hands as we step back. Down dog, or child's pose extended. We breathe into our plank, or our modified plank, chest over hands. Breathe out, we lower down, chaturanga. Breathe in, roll up dog. Breathe out, back to down dog, or child's pose extended. We step our left foot forward. Right knee to the mat or not, again, you decide. Breathing in, lengthening heart center sky. Breathe out, release our hands as we step forward, forward, forward. Breathe in, we reverse our swan. Breathe out, chair pose. I'm going to listen to this shoulder here, and I'm not going to raise it anymore, but you can still raise yours. Breathe in, lengthening heart center sky. Breathe out, swan diving forward, hinging from our hips into our forward fold. Breathe in, we're gazing forward, monkey pose. Breathe out, we step our right foot back, kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. Breathe in, lengthening heart center sky. Breathe out, release our hands as we step back, down dog or child's pose extended. We breathe into our plank or our modified plank. Breathe out, we lower down, chaturanga. Breathe in, roll up dog. Breathe out. Maybe add that extra push-up, back to down dog or child's pose extended. We step our right foot forward. Breathing in, kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. Breathe out, release our hands and step forward, forward, forward. Breathe in, we reverse our swan. Breathing out, chair pose. Breathe in, lengthen back up, extended mountain. Breathing out, swan diving forward into our forward fold. Breathe in, we gaze forward, monkey pose. Breathe out, we step our left foot back, kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. Breathing in, heart center sky. Breathe out, release our hands as we step back, down dog or child's pose extended. We breathe into our plank or our modified plank. Breathe out, we lower down, chaturanga. Breathe in, roll up dog. Breathe out, back to down dog or child's pose extended. We step our left foot forward. Breathing in, kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. Breathe out, release our hands as we step forward, forward, forward. Breathe in, we reverse our swan. Breathing out, chair pose. 2 more sun salutations. Breathe in, lengthen back up, extended mountain. Breathe out, we're swan diving forward into our forward fold. Breathe in, we gaze forward, monkey pose. Breathe out, we step our right foot back, kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. Breathing in, heart center sky. Breathe out, release our hands as we step back, down dog or child's pose extended. Breathe into our plank or our modified plank. Breathe out, we lower down, chaturanga. Breathe in, both feet to the mat, roll up dog. Breathe out, back to down dog or child's pose extended. We step our right foot forward. Breathing in, kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. Breathe out, release our hands as we step forward, forward, forward. Breathe in, we reverse our swan. Breathing out, chair pose. Left side. Breathe in, lengthen back up, extended mountain. Breathe out, we're swan diving, hinging from our hips into our forward fold. Breathe in, we gaze forward, monkey pose. Breathe out, we step our left foot back, kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. Breathing in, lengthening heart center sky. Breathe out, release our hands as we step back, down dog or child's pose extended. We breathe into our plank or our modified plank. Breathe out, lower down, chaturanga. Breathe in, roll up dog, both feet to the mat. Breathe out, back to down dog or child's pose extended. We step our left foot forward. Kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. Breathing in, heart center sky. Breathe out, release our hands as we step forward, forward. forward fold. Breathe in, we reverse our swan. Breathing out, chair pose. Let's breathe in, lengthen arms back up and overhead. Breathe out, we're swan diving, hinging from our hips. Forward fold. Hanging out in our forward fold for a few breaths. Let's walk, hop, or jump, feet back, downward facing dog. Walk the dog, alternate as we press one heel down, then the other. We have starfish hands. Even weight distribution amongst our fingertips and our palms. We breathe. Potentially resting our knees to the mat if that's okay for our body. Cat, cow postures. If you'd rather perform this from a standing position, feel free to stand. Breathe out as we round. Breathing in as we arch. One breath, one movement. Body and mind continuing to work together. Breath and movement matching. Let's find ourselves sitting back onto our heels, wrapping our feet around towards the front of our mats. Activated bridge pose. We lay down on our backs. Breathe in, raise our arms up to the ceiling or overhead. Breathe out, lift our buttocks off of the mat to our activated bridge. Breathe in as we lift, dropping the butt. Breathe out as we lower. One breath, one movement. Body and mind continuing to work together. Breath and movement matching. Maybe snow angel arms. Breathe in, open those arms out sideways. Breathe out, lift the booty as we draw our hands down by our legs. Let's rest our buttocks back down to the mat, moving into some abdominal core work. Hands can go to the forehead, behind the head, or crisscross in front of our chest. Breathe out, we curl up into an abdominal crunch. Breathe in as we lower back down. Breathe out, shoulders and head lift off of the mat, head first, then shoulders. Breathing in as we lower back down. Last one. Keep the head resting. Raise your feet up to the height of your knees. Tilt the pelvis in to protect the low back. Single leg stretch. Alternate the leg that presses forward, gliding our heel along an imaginary granite tabletop. Maybe lift your head off of the mat. Maybe send your hands to the thigh that comes closest towards your chest. Slow and controlled. Last set. Rest the head, rest the feet down. Single leg circles. Breathe in, raise one leg into your Pilates tabletop. Breathe out, possibly straight through this knee joint. Slow and controlled. In through the nose, out through the mouth. 5. Breathe in, breathe out. 4, I just gave you Pilates breathing, sorry. In, out. 3, force of habit. In, out. 2, and in, out. 1, reverse. In, out. 5, breathe in, breathe out. 4, in, out. 3, breathe in, breathe out. 2, stabilize pelvis, in, out. raise your other leg, possibly straight through this knee joint, slow and control. In, out, 5, breathe in, breathe out, 4, in, out, 3, breathe in, breathe out, 2, and in, out, 1. Reverse, in, out, 5, in, out, 4, in, out, 3, in, out, 2, and in, out, 1. Bend the knee, rest the foot. Roll over to one side into a fetal position. Top hand in front of your chest. Instead of drawing circles, we're just going to breathe in, raise this top hand to the sky. Breathe out, let this hand fall behind us. Some of us can go further than others. Go to your range of motion. Stay here to breathe in. Breathe out, use your breath to guide your arm back over to its starting position. If you are pregnant, you don't have to go as deep into the twist here. Breathe in, top fingertips to the sky. Breathe out, you can stay here or join me if you can get into your spinal rotation. Stay to breathe in. Breathe out, allow your breath to carry your hand back over to your starting point. Breathing in, top fingertips to the sky. Breathing out when we open through the chest and expand into our spinal rotation. We stay as we breathe in. As we breathe out, allow our breath to guide our hand to our starting position. We roll over to the other side. Bottom arm can serve as our pillow, top hand in front of our chest. We breathe in, top fingertips to the sky. Breathe out, the hand may or may not hit the floor behind us, spinal rotation. We stay as we breathe in. As we breathe out, allow our breath to carry our hand to our starting point. Breathing in, top fingertips to the sky. Breathe out, we open through the chest when we expand. Out and back, spinal rotation. We stay as we breathe in. As we breathe out, allow our breath to carry our hand to our starting point. Breathing in, top fingertips to the sky. Breathing out, let's open through the chest when we expand. Out and back, spinal rotation. We stay as we breathe in through the lower lobes of our lungs. As we breathe out, allow our breath to guide our hand to our starting position. We allow ourselves to press on up to a seated position. Butterfly stretch, soles of the feet to touch. We can stay upright, possibly hinge forward, sending face over feet, maybe allowing our elbows to apply pressure towards our inner thighs to help us sink potentially a tenth of a millimeter deeper into our stretch. Bringing ourselves upright, let's straighten one leg forward, keep the other knee bent. Seated spinal twist, hand behind our back. We can step this bent leg, that foot over if we want more rotation of our spine. Elbow to the outside of our knee and possibly twist. You determine the intensity of this rotation based on what your spine can handle. Limiting rotation of our spine if we are pregnant or if we do have back issues. Promoting rotation of the spine to guide us in our digestive tract. Let's return to center and let's switch to the other leg, possibly stepping this foot over and gently twisting. Let's return to center, finding ourselves coming up to a kneeling position, preparing for a kneeling side plank. We'll straighten our left leg, placing our left foot near the back of our mat, dropping our right hand to the mat, kneeling side plank. Now you can stay here in your kneeling side plank. Notice that my toes are not facing the left foot, but my toes of my bent leg are facing the side of my mat. You can go into a full side plank. I'm going to drop down to my elbow and forearm for my full side plank. You can keep that hand flat. It's just a personal preference. I'm shortening my lever. You also have the option with or without the bottom knee to the floor to raise the top leg on our side plank. We release, return to a kneeling position, and we trade it out to the other side, straightening the right leg, placing the right foot near the front of our mat, dropping our left hand, possibly raising the right arm. We can stay here in our kneeling side plank. We have the option to raise the right foot as well. If you'd like to straighten the bottom leg and move into your full side plank, you may. We release back down. Child's pose, extended, modified, or regular. Sending positive healing exhalations to whichever area of our body currently is experiencing sensation. Spinal balance. Hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath sit bones. Send one leg behind us, opposite arm forward, and breathe. Option to only raise the leg or to only raise the arm. Option to open the hand and the foot out into a diagonal. We release. Transition, other side, lifting leg, potentially opposite arm, and breathing. Possibly adding the diagonal if we had selected this option on the first side. We release. Child's pose or downward facing dog. Select the option that will benefit your body the most. Let's step one foot forward, preparing for a pyramid pose. Releasing our heel to the mat of our back leg, attempting to straighten through our knee joint of the leg that's closest to our face. Our hands can be resting onto blocks. We can shift our hips forward and back to determine if one hip placement over another creates a desired sensation. We breathe. Notice which foot is forward. We're stepping forward. I'm going towards the back of my mat just because I turned out to face this direction. Now I'll step my other foot back to balance out my hamstrings with pyramid pose for the other leg. Possibly shifting hips forward and back. Always breathing. You know what? Pyramid sounds like a good word of the day. P is in pineapple. Y is in yellow. R as rhinoceros, A as an apple, M as in Mary, I as an iguana, D as in dog. Pyramid. P, Y, R, N, A, P, Y, R, P, Y, R, A, M, I, D. Let's step forward, forward fold. Using the power of our legs, we breathe in, circle, sweep our arms to the sky. And release our hands to our heart center. Standing mountain pose. Finding ourselves stepping one foot back into a wide sunflower stance. Breathing in, we lengthen arms to the sky. Breathe out, hinge from our hips, swan dive forward. Forward fold. Take a bend to those knees, taking hands behind ankles, wrapping around ankles with folded knees. We could stay here. Maybe attempt to straighten through the knees. Depending on flexibility, we may or may not be able to completely straighten our knees with our arms wrapped around our calves. Let's take another deep bend to the knees, unwrap those arms. Using the power of our legs, let's bring ourselves upright. We're stepping forward towards the front of our mats. Mountain pose, palms are facing forward, shoulders are relaxed away from our ears. We find ourselves stepping our right foot back, releasing our right heel to the mat, folding into our left knee joint. Warrior one. If you'd rather raise the right heel for a crescent lunge or drop the right knee for a kneeling warrior, feel free to do so. Elevating arms up and overhead. And just a reminder, I'm catering to my other shoulder there. So I'm just going to respect the sensations going on and not allow my biceps, spine, and ears. Warrior two, hands out to the height of our shoulders, sink into low body, expanding back with our upper body. Maybe gazing towards our fingers near the bent knee side. Let's straighten through this knee joint, triangle pose. Breathe in, hinge towards that leg. Breathe out, drop your hand towards knee, shin, ankle, block, foot, or floor. Extending up through the tips of our fingers and breathing. Return to our pyramid pose, stepping our back foot slightly inward and shifting hips forward and back. Maybe reverse triangle, raising the other hand to the waist, twisting away from me. Maybe raising that arm to the side, always breathing. We return to our pyramid. We step forward, forward, forward. Using the power of our legs, breathe in, circle, sweep our arms to the side. Breathing out, hands and energy to our heart center. We'll step our other foot back. When I do this, when I go into warrior two, I will not be facing you. Warrior one releases the back heel, folding through the front knee joint. It's okay to raise that back heel into a crescent lunge or to drop the back knee down for our kneeling warrior. On our next exhalation, warrior two, hands up to the height of our shoulders, sink into low body, expand back with our upper body, maybe gazing towards the front of our mat, and breathing. Preparing for our triangle pose, straighten through our front knee joint. Breathe in, lean towards the front of our mat. Breathe out, drop our hand to knee, shin, ankle, block, foot, or floor. Automatically tight through the buttocks. Maybe gazing up towards our top fingers, always breathing. Releasing top hand down, pyramid pose. I'll step my back foot slightly inward. Potentially shifting hips forward and back. Always breathing. Preparing for the reverse triangle, hand to waist, twist, and maybe raise this arm up. Breath continuation. Let's return to pyramid. We step forward, forward fold, hopefully achieving a balance between the right and the left side of our bodies. Using the power of our legs, we breathe in, circle sweep our arms to the side. Breathing out, releasing hands and energy to our heart center. Preparing for a pigeon pose, realizing it's okay to lay on your back and perform a modified reclining pigeon. Breathe in, lengthen arms to the sky. Breathe out, upper firm pigeon from a downward facing dog, swan dive forward. Let's walk, hop, or jump, feet back, downward facing dog. It's okay to lay down on your back in preparation for reclining pigeon. Raising one knee up towards the sky, three-legged down dog. We sweep this knee up towards our chest, maybe go ankle to thigh if you're on your back. Dropping down onto the other leg, avoid falling onto the butt cheek of your bent knee. Possibly stay here in our pigeon. Maybe release elbows and forearms down to the mat. Sending positive healing exhalations to any area of our body where we currently feel sensation. Avoid falling onto your butt cheek. Stay on top of that leg that's straightened out behind you. If you like screaming pigeon options, hands underneath shoulders, folding through your back knee, sending a hand or both hands to this foot, drawing this heel in towards our buttocks, and breathe. We carefully release. Stepping back, downward facing dog or child's pose extended. If you are on your back, you can remain on your back and just get ready for the other side. From down dog, let's raise our other knee to the sky, three-legged down dog. We sweep this knee up towards our chest and rest this foot to the outside of our mat. Avoid falling onto your butt cheek. Maybe stay upright, possibly surrendering elbows and forearms to the mat. Breath continuation. This side might be more flexible or less flexible, and that's okay. We're letting go of our competitive spirit. Screaming pigeon options. Hands underneath shoulders, potentially folding through our back knee joint, sending a hand or both hands to this foot, drawing our heel in towards our buttocks, and we breathe. We're letting go of judging others, letting go of expectations, finding ourselves in this present breath, in this present moment. We gently release, and we step back, down dog, or child's pose extend. We release knees down, and we were down dog, child's pose, extended, modified, or regular. We're walking our hands back towards our knees or forward towards our knees. Pressing ourselves up. Wrapping our feet around. Preparing for a spinal twist again, seated spinal twist. Option for a Turkish twist. So I have my right knee bent, my left leg is straight. Seated spinal twist, I would just twist around over my right shoulder. Turkish twist, I step my right foot over my left, I fold through my left knee joint. I stack knees on top of each other, anchoring my right butt cheek to the ground. I can stay here and just twist over my right shoulder again, or hands to heart center, placing my left elbow to the outside of the right thigh, and twisting. Returning to center. Legs can stay here or how you have them for your spinal twist. Cow's face pose, we'll have these Turkish twist legs. We're raising our left arm, patting ourselves on the back, taking our right arm, and attempting to touch our fingers together. Now my fingers don't touch, and that's okay. And for the cow's face pose, my elbows would be the ears on the cow, my legs would be the lips on the cow. I know when I do cow's face pose on the other side, this top arm is not going to stay up here. And let's switch it on out. So, straighten through the right leg, left foot can step over, and we can twist over our left shoulder for a seated spinal twist. If you want the Turkish twist option, fold through the right knee joint, stack knees on top of each other, either twist over your left shoulder or prayer pose with those hands, right elbow to the outside of the left thigh, or just above the left knee, really. Come on back to center, cow's face pose. Raise the right arm up, pat yourself on the back, left arm comes back behind, attempting to clasp those hands together. And just because my shoulder issue, I'm not really able to deal with this side, so you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. Listen to your body, that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to keep this arm down for right now. Sending positive healing exhalations to whichever area of your body currently feels sensation. Let's carefully release, unwind those legs. Legs straight out in front of you, forward fold from our seated position. We breathe in, lengthen our arms up and overhead. Breathe out when we swan dive forward, hinging from our hips. Hands can rest at thighs, knees, shins, ankles, feet, or floor. If we have a strap or the need for a strap or a towel, we can wrap those around the arches of our feet, allowing our exhalation to help us sink potentially a tenth of a millimeter deeper into our stretch. The next time we breathe in, we're gazing forward, monkey pose. Continue to breathe here in your monkey. The next time we breathe out, we relax through head and neck. Bringing yourselves back upright. Boat pose. Few options. Hands can rest behind the hamstrings, round your spine. We could stay here. We could release hands here or here. We could raise our feet and balance here. Maybe release arms here or raise them up overhead. Possibly straighten those knees, support the hamstrings. The arms can rest parallel to the floor or parallel to those legs. You can choose an open-legged boat pose if you have the flexibility. Peace fingers, round and cap around big toes, and we open out for an open-legged boat pose. Pyramid is our word of the day. Pyramid. Pineapple, yellow, rhinoceros, apple, Mary, iguana, dog. We release back down, finding ourselves a little bit closer towards the earth. And if you are pregnant, fetal position, laying on your side, is your best option for relaxation. Otherwise, if you're able to, we lay down on our backs, preparing to move through some muscle tightening before we enter relaxation. Let's breathe in, tighten and squeeze every single muscle we have in our bodies, potentially raising body parts off the back. Breathe out, we soften, we release, we relax. Again, we breathe in, tighten and squeeze, hold it on. Breathe out, soften, release, let go. And breathe in, tighten, squeeze. Breathe out, soften, release, relax. We're allowing our feet to flop open. We're allowing our palms to face the sky. This is your time to breathe. This is your time to feel. If a thought comes to mind, allow your exhalation to erase it. Let's gently roll over onto one side if we're not already there, into a fetal position, allowing our bottom arm to serve as our pillow and our knees to fold up towards our chest. We can allow our fingers and our toes to wiggle to help reawaken our bodies. We gently press ourselves up, returning to our seated position. Dropping one ear over towards the shoulder, lengthening the muscles on the sides of our neck. We return to center, transition over to the other side. And back to center. Breathe in, lengthening arms up and overhead. Breathing out to release our hands and our energy to our heart center. Thank you for taking the time to join me today. My spirit honors yours. Namaste.